Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This time we're going to be doing a new tier maker ranking of Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. This did have 5 things. It was Dreamy, Good, Watchable, Snooze Fest, and Nightmare. But honestly, I don't think I would have put any of them in the bot, like Nightmare, because like Snooze Fest I feel like is already kind of low, and I don't dislike any of these movies that much to put them in lower than Snooze Fest. So it's kind of weird only having 4, but whatever. Also, I have not rewatched some of these in a few years, so it's probably been 2 or 3 years since I've done a full rewatch. But I did want to do an updated ranking. I will probably maybe next year I'll do a full rewatch of the franchise, and then do like a proper worst to best ranking. I kind of want to do that with the Friday the 13th ones too, which I actually just did a Friday the 13th tier maker. That franchise I feel like I'm more familiar with most of them. This one I'm less familiar with some of the later ones. Well, I don't know. I'm pretty familiar with up to New Nightmare. No, never mind. I'm pretty familiar with all these except for the remake. I've only seen the remake like once. So that one, take my ranking of that with a grain of salt because I've only seen it once or maybe twice. Um, so yeah. Anyways, let's just get into this. Stop rambling. Uh, if you watch my Friday the 13th one, I'm a huge fan of slashers, especially the big three like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Grew up watching them. I've seen them all countless times, or most of them, I should say. So yeah, first one, Dreamy. It's a fucking classic. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. The vibe is immaculate in this movie, well directed. I actually like most of the characters in the movie, which I feel like most slashers, especially Friday the 13th, most of the cast I'm either indifferent or actually don't like, in spite of the movie. In spite of me liking the movie. This one I actually like most of the cast. Robert Englund is amazing as Freddy. Like special effects, or I should say the effects. They're still special effects, even though they're not like CGI and stuff. Like amazing. I don't know. Everything about this movie is great. The soundtrack, like everything. Um, it feel the only thing I will say on rewatches, it does feel a little like basic, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like when you actually break down the movie, like plot wise, the plot is very basic. But like I said, that some movies just need a basic plot to work, and then you build around that. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, Dreamy. First, the second one, good. I actually quite like the second one. It's a little weird placing it into the canon because there's some stuff in it that is never really explained or doesn't come back, or like they with all these they kind of change the rules as they go. I feel like, but I like it. Also, it's a thing where you don't get too many final guys or whatever. Damn, that scared the crap out of me. It was a loud noise. Um, you don't really get a lot of like final guys. It's usually girls. And I really like the guy in this. Again, yeah, I don't really have too much to say about it. I do like the movie. Some of the plot is weird, but I do like Freddy like popping out at like the pool party or whatever, and like just the way it's shot and the aesthetics, the way it looks. This is also before Freddy. I think this is kind of right before Freddy started. I think he might be more dark in this movie than he is in the first one, but this is like right before they started adding a lot of that comedic stuff in. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's good. Part three also got to go on Dreamy. I think I like part three more than part one, honestly. This is where they kind of started adding a little bit of that comedic stuff in. At least more than the first two. Well, he was kind of comedic in the first two, but he was more like dark comedic, which I guess he's still dark comedic in these ones too. I don't know. Anyways, um, this might be my favorite cast of the franchise. Heather Langenkamp comes back. It is a little weird when she dies. Like it's just the way it's executed is a little weird. I don't know. I feel like it wasn't as impactful as it could have been. I don't know. Like I love a lot of the kills in this movie. That's the thing where he's like walking like this, like with his the things coming out, and just I don't know. I just really like this movie. I'm blanking trying to think of it. I do know the movie very well, but I'm kind of blanking on it right now. The whole like uh, house, like paper mache house or built house or whatever it is, that was cool. Like at the beginning, the soundtrack again is really good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna move on because I'm kind of blanking on this, but I do love this movie a lot. The TV kill, this primetime bitch, just yeah. Um, Honestly, this is a solid like trilogy, like one, two, and three. Even though two is a little bit of an outlier. Four. Um, I wouldn't quite put it in dreamy. I'd put it in good. I'd probably put it. I'm not gonna do the whole thing where I'm gonna like put something in front of that because it's too much brain power right now. Membership 4, I do quite like. There's another one where I really like the cast. Have a little bit of a recast from part 3, but that's fine. I'm not a huge fan of them like killing everyone off in the first like 10 minutes from the last movie, but whatever. I do like some of the kills. This is the one where Freddy definitely goes a lot more comedic. You have like the one where he's on the beach coming up and all that kind of weird stuff. But I do quite like the movie still. Um, yeah, I don't know, good. Part Is this part 5? Yeah, part 5, The Dream Master. Uh, I definitely need to rewatch some of these. Like I said, I haven't seen them in like the time I did like last time I did a full rewatch was probably like 2 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. Part 5 I'm gonna put in watchable. There's just something about the movie. I do like a lot of it, especially the kill with Dan on the bike or the truck or whatever. I don't know. There's just something about it. It feels off. Like just something like I don't know. It just feels off. With some of the, I don't know if it not I don't want to say cheap, but it just feels like just some of the acting feels off. Some of the shots feel off, and not like in a like creepy we're in a dream kind of off. Just like just weird, like off kilter. Like I don't know. I'm probably making absolutely no sense. Um, yeah, I'm not. This is I think has out of the last couple my least favorite cast. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it. Like I said, I'd probably have more to say if I just rewatched it, but I haven't watched it in a few years. Freddy's Dead. This is another one where I don't remember like specifically like scene by scene, but because I feel like this is the one I don't rewatch that often. Um, I'll put this in. I don't know. Like I remember not liking it that much. I'll put it in snooze fest. Like I still like the movie. Like the whole 3D thing's kind of weird, but I like the lore of like the demons coming to him and like they're the reason he like after the parents set him on fire, all that blah blah blah. They're the reason he's became the dream demon or whatever. I like that whole idea. I just feel like it's oddly executed. That's the thing. I love a lot of the ideas in this movie of like the dream world and like seeing it like you can see it like when the boss and like he like the barrier of the dream world and the real world or like Springfield's in this bubble and like if you actually read the plot and like read some of what the other plots were and like stuff that they didn't wind up doing, it makes the movie make a lot more sense where I feel like the plot of the movie is not really explained in the movie. Like you don't really know what the fuck is going on and I don't think it's really ever explained. You kind of just have to guess for most of the movie. Then there is some reveals with like Freddy and I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I might put it in watchable for. I'll put it in snooze fest. So like I said, this ranking could be completely different on a rewatch. It's the one of the ones I'm also least familiar with. I do like the Carlos kill where he like drops the pin. Also, he's way more ridiculous than the Freddy's like I think it's most ridiculous in this movie. Where he drops the pin. Oh yeah, the whole like fucking town with like the street and like the map and I just found that kind of this like boring. It's kind of boring. That's it. Johnny Depp comes back for a little cameo, which I liked. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Moving on. New Nightmare. New Nightmare is honestly good or dreamy. Good or dreamy. I will put it in dreamy. I've always liked this movie, even as a kid, and I feel like as a kid, this I would think would be the one of the ones I don't like, just because it's more of like a straightforward, more so a drama than a slasher. But I don't know. As a kid, I really liked it, and I still love it today. I will say it is a little. I don't know if it's like they could have shortened the movie because I don't really know what you would take out. It is a little long, not longer. Like it feels a little dragged out a little bit. Like I don't know how long it is. I think 2 hours. If it's 2 hours, you could have made it like an hour and 45. If it's an hour and 50, you could have made it an hour and 40. I don't know. Like it just feels like you could have cut out like just trimmed a little bit. It feels like some parts just drag a little bit. But I love the plot of this. Like the just kind of the meta nature with like the actors playing themselves. Like I just love all that. There's really only like what like 2 kills or 3 kills in the movie. I love the whole like aesthetic at the end. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about it. I love this movie. Even though it is more of a drama, I love the whole meta take on it. Like, also I love like the Scream franchise, so it kind of fits in line with that kind of style. Freddy vs. Jason, I just ranked this in the Friday the 13th tier making I did, but I'd put this in good. I'm not really gonna talk too much on it. If you want to know my thoughts, go to the watch the Friday the 13th one. I do like it. It's Robert Englund's last performance as Freddy. I think he did a great job in it. It's kind of back more to the serious Freddy. Well, I guess he was serious in New Nightmare, but that wasn't technically Freddy. It was the demon. Anyways, um, he's a little more serious in this one, but still has a little bit of that comedic. It's kind of more in line with like 3, I would say. Um, yeah, I quite like Freddy vs. Jason. Although it does feel like more of a Jason movie, I feel like, than a Freddy movie. But Nightmare on Elm Street the remake. So this is one I've seen like once, maybe twice. I don't really remember a lot about it. From what I remember, I would put it in watchable. I remember thinking it was okay. I actually quite liked Jackie Earle Haley as Freddy Krueger from what I remember. Um, it just seemed a little like what's the word, like not stale, what am I trying to say, like sterile. The movie just felt kind of sterile, like a lot of the shots, and like it has that like very digital look from what I remember anyways. I definitely need to do a rewatch. I think I might rewatch, like, this might be one of the rewatches I do for October, because I can kind of just have the first couple on because I'm very familiar with like the first 3 or 4, and then once like I get to like 5 and some of the later ones, sit down and watch them a little more closely. um yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it in a while. I don't have too much to say, but from what I remember, I put it in watchable. Yeah, I remember thinking the what I don't like daydreaming thing being kind of cool, like where you're going in between like reality and the dream world because you keep falling asleep and having like daydreams. I thought that was a cool idea. Jackie Earle Haley, I thought did a good job. Like he's very a lot more like he's a lot more in line with like the first movie Freddy or second movie Freddy. Um, I I think part of the thing was it didn't or like so I'm gonna go on a tangent here again. Sterile, that's my biggest thing I remember, but just feeling sterile, like very like I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. Sterile, that's what I'm gonna say. If you could figure out what I mean, good. um like just the shots and the acting and everything just felt like, yeah. One thing I'll say, it doesn't feel like even the first, like, fun. That's what I'm trying to get is fun. It doesn't feel fun at all. Even the first one and the second one, there's more of like a fun, like you're watching like a slasher. This is like more like a serious, like they go way more down from what I remember. They go down way more down like the pedophile route and like dark and like, which can work. I just feel like it didn't work in this movie from what I remember. I don't know. Anyways, that's my ranking. I'm gonna stop rambling on. Let me know what your guys' ranking is and what you thought, and I'll see you guys in the next video.